I first want to wish, hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving, ate lots of food, spent lots of time with family. I know I did, so I hope you all did too. Now, I know it's been a minute. You follow me on Twitter. I talked about some of it, right? I had a sinus infection. But part of it too is, if you know or don't know, there's been a lot of movement roster-wise, a lot of transfers out. So I'm not gonna do the position breakdowns this year, just because there's so much movement, and I don't want to spend my time making it your time watching it when like 2% of it is valid because everybody else is gone. So that's not gonna happen this season, unfortunately. As for the season recap, it's kind of in the same boat. Like, I don't really want to make like a full one per se. Let's go ahead and say my closing thoughts now. So I was talking to a friend about the season a couple of weeks ago, and he said something very simple. He's just like, man, you think we could figure out a way to put it together? And, I thought about it, and it's like, for as long as I've been covering, I feel like we've been a sleeping giant, right? I feel like you hear that thrown around a lot with like Arizona State. They keep saying that's a sleeping giant. Right? I think it's the same thing. We've got facilities, we've got support, we've got location, right? It's like we've got a state with good high school football. So it's like, why can't we put it together? Why can't we consistently be in the upper tier of the conference, right? Like, there's really no reason why, barring injuries, we should be going 5-6. We should be going 4-7, right? I feel like we should be averaging minimum like 7 wins a year, right? Like, I think, just given all the advantages that we have, I feel like that should be the case. Not like we don't have the talent either, right? Like, I'm looking at Missouri Southern, right? They were on far worse footing than we were the past few years, but you see, they went from 2 wins to 4 to 5, right? We went from 6 to 5, right? So like, why are they ascending and we're descending, right? And I saw like, that I think is the most frustrating, puzzling part of this, is like that we can't seem to put it together. Now, in terms of this past season, and this is just my honest opinion, it felt like it wasn't a team. It felt more like it's a group of talented individuals, but they weren't a team, right? I feel like the games where they played like a team, you look at Missouri Southern, you look at Pitt State, right? I think that's the potential of what could have been, but it just felt like it did not mesh well. And I think that's why you're seeing a lot of transfers out. It just wasn't a good fit. Yeah, there was great talent there, but I don't think there was a great fit. So I personally am not like overly concerned or worried about that, just because I feel like it's best probably that we kind of have a mini reset. Just looking on Twitter, it seems like we're focusing more on the JUCO ranks this year than we are the portal. I know we got a QB from Central Arkansas, but I feel like we're focusing our efforts more towards the JUCO ranks, where we've had some success in recent memory, right? Rob, Mike, JK came in this year recently, right? Tariq Logan, right? So like we've had some success there. So I'm hoping that next year's team is more of a team, right? I think I remember early in the season or mid-season where I said, like, I'm not sure why last year's team was better, but looking back on it, that's why they were better. They, to me, seemed like a team. They seemed like they were playing for each other 99% of the season, right? So, and I think that's why you got the results that you did. I think there was more buy-in. I think, after the Kearney game, remember when Coach Doral, was talking about the second half, lull offensive, talking about that guys have to trust his play calling. That kind of should have been a sign right there that buy-in was not 100%. So I'm hoping that next year's crop is better. I think the guys that are returning, like, I think we've got a good group of like guys that enjoy playing for each other, right? Like, I look at Hunter Large and Zane Adams. Those to me are two guys that really enjoy playing for each other, so I feel like if we have a group like that, I think next year will be better, even if, say, we're a little bit less experienced, a little bit less talented, right? I mean, I don't foresee us being like Washburn. They played like 29 freshmen this year, right? That's kind of why they only won 2 games, right? So I don't foresee us being to that degree, obviously. But I think this mini reset is not the worst thing. If we get better cohesion, we get better chemistry, we get better buy-in. I think that's going to be a big theme. Because again, I still feel like next year it's year 3, right, of the Coach Doyle era. Any year 3 is a big year, right? So I feel like if we want to feel good about the future, we've got to at least get back to 6 wins. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. So that's kind of my final thoughts on that. Like we've got to figure out a way to get on the same page. And I think if we do get on the same page, I think we're a very dangerous football team. But we've also got to build on top of that. We get on the same page. Okay, great. That's a start. We got to win on the road. We got to still figure out a way to play four quarters of football, right? We've got to clean up the turnovers. I feel like we've got to figure things out schematically early on in the season, right? Like we can't spend half the season figuring out that we need a 4-man front, not a 3-man front, right? So like there's things like that we have to improve on as well. I feel like, but I think the group that will be there come the spring, I think may end up being a more cohesive unit there. And then another big news I wanted to touch on was Northeastern State is becoming a independent for the next 2 years to build up their program. Personally, I think it's going to take more than 2 years. If you followed, you've kind of seen how bad that they've been in recent times. So like I don't think 2 years are going to be enough. They're supposed to do it for 2 years and then reevaluate, and then like if they need more time, they'll do more time. I can't see in 2 years' time them becoming a competitive team within the conference. My hope is that we don't lose the President's Cup after this season. That's a game that needs to be played, right? Like we're already losing Bedlam. Like we can't lose that game. I mean, we talked to Peyton Scott after the Lincoln game last year, and you could tell how much that game meant to him, right? Like that game means a lot to the guys, especially the Oklahoma guys, because he's like the only in-state team that we can play. So it's very important that we keep that game. So I don't know the powers that be. If we could keep that game, like I know it doesn't count for conference standings wise, but that would be fantastic. So that's kind of my mini rant summation of the season. Go ahead now and show you the setup and kind of go over what you can expect to come in the near future. Okay, so we are back here at Cho Show Podcast Network HQ, aka my room / office / man cave. We do it big over here. So this is the setup part. So it's been a minute, I feel like, since I showed the setup. I can't remember now. I know I have once, but it's essentially here. So this is my whiteboard. I usually write the roster on it. Like when it first comes out, like the week of the season opener, I write the roster on it. This way, when I'm recording and forgetting names or forgetting like years of eligibility wise, I can just refer to this board. So this will probably stay up until maybe spring, and then I'll erase this and then put the spring roster up and then do it again in the fall. It's just a good reference point to me. Now you might be wondering, Smooth, what is that encasing said dry erase board? It's acoustic foam. This I got off Amazon. It was the cheap version. It was like $12. Basically, it kind of helps with like echo and like dead space type of thing along with my pop filter. I think you can kind of tell a difference. It used to only be these four, as my ring light is kind of in the way. It used to only be like these 3 right here, the original 3. I since then added, you can kind of tell because they're different colors. It does help, though. I have noticed a difference along with the pop filter and better editing type stuff on Adobe Audition. But this is kind of the setup that I have here. I used to write notes. So fun fact, I used to actually outline my whole show on this board back in like 2019. But I kind of stopped doing that now because I kind of have a better idea of it. It kind of sounded too scripted, almost too like TV newscasty-ish instead of like what I kind of like, where it's more free-form type of thing. I have an idea of like the points I want to hit, but like literally after I say, the good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever time it might be, my intro, it's straight up like it's almost like a freestyle type of thing. I feel like it comes off more genuine that way. Like it's not as scripted. Like with my one-on-ones, it's not scripted. Like I have a few questions on a Word doc, right? That like I want to make sure that I want to ask, but like I usually go with the fucking mix for better content. But in any case, it does help. There's different types, there's different grades of it. This one my friend told me about. I got it off of Amazon. You can tell I like try to cover every nook and cranny. So that's what that is. Now with this ring thing is here. This is my ring light. Also got it off Amazon. Got it on sale. I think it was like $12. That's pretty cool. I think you can notice if you go back to the one-on-ones from this past year to years prior, you'll kind of see a difference in my lighting. So like, there we go. So it turns on this, but it also has like, I can turn it up brighter. I can turn it down. It even turns colors, I think. Yeah, so here's like a yellow, it's like a blue, orangey, right? Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I like it. Gets kind of hot though after a period of time. It's on like a little stand. Here, excuse me for myself. Yeah, it's on a little stand. Like I said, it's $12. It was $12. You can get them pretty reasonable. You can get them smaller than that, bigger than that. This one's nice because it fits on my desk. Very easy to assemble. It took like 5 minutes tops because I didn't know what I was doing. But other than that, it's pretty chill. The microphone I use, it is a Yeti. It is it's just your blue Yeti. It's not the Snowball. I have a Yeti Snowball as a backup mic. It's what I first recorded on was a Yeti Snowball because I was a broke college student and put it down for a birthday gift. But this one here was like, I think this runs you $80, 80 for like between 70 and 100, depending on like what type of set you get it in. It's really good. I've had it now for 4 years on counting because it came with the Yeti caster. But it wouldn't work for video because it's like the little extendo arm thing that kind of like goes down that would be all in the shot. So I got on Etsy, I went and got like the original. It's kind of dusty. It's like the original stand to it. I got this for like $20, I think it is. So what I like about it, you can like adjust the volume in it. On the back, it's got like the gain and the pattern. So there's all types of videos on there, and there's like a manual for it. But it's your like standard USB type mic. I have a pop filter. It also helps too with like clarity and such. Yeah, this has been old reliable. I know there's better mics out there. I think shout out to my man James D. Jackson. I think he uses the Shure. I want to say it's the Shure. That would be the next mic I get. Like once this mic gives out, I will then probably invest in getting a Shure mic. I know that's like the high grade, but like, I don't see a point right now because the Blue Yeti is reliable. It gets the job done. And like I'm not ready to like give up on this said investment. Over here we have my monitor. I got it off HP. They had it on sale. I've had it for about a year. Not quite a year. It'll be a year. I feel like in January, something like that. I think it was $90. Just a typical monitor. As you can see, I still have the sticker on it. It comes in handy. Having a second screen greatly comes in handy. You have no idea how tough it was trying to do everything on one screen. I had this hooked up to my laptop via HDMI cord. So many cords over here. It's ridiculous, but really good. So that's. Yeah, it's a second monitor. It makes things easier. This is my webcam. Is the Logi, however you want to say it. Webcam it can shoot up to 1080p. However, because of the StreamYard plan I have, I can only do 720. But however it is, though, it does go up to 1080p. It has a built-in microphone too. So like if you don't have a mic, you can use it. If you watch the Trayvon Craig episode, it still bothers me. That audio was recorded using the mic of the webcam because so the problem is when at least for me, when I have more than one mic, it defaults to the webcam mic, so I have to always go in my settings and change it. I forgot to that time, so that kind of sucks because that was a really good episode and the audio was not highest quality possible I could provide. So again, Trayvon's family, I apologize for that. This was unfortunate. I did not realize that until after the fact. But I've had this since January of 2022. Like literally the week I interviewed Dante McGee, I went out and bought it. So It's been great for me. It came with like a mini tripod, so before I had this screen, I would put it on a little mini tripod, and I don't know where I put that mini tripod at. I have to find it, but I did have a mini tripod that came with it. I would set that up like on my desk on my laptop, but this is a lot better able to clip it on there. So, and then this is my actual laptop. Now, full disclosure, you're going to see a Jiggin McFly name tag. Please disregard that. That was a work thing. I just stuck it on there because I don't know. But it's your standard HP laptop. Also got a Nintendo sticker on there from a shirt. But yeah, it's your typical HP laptop, nothing special. I got it as a Christmas gift, so I did not pay for it. But it's very reliable. You can see my little notepad here. I've got notes, got like depth charts and like questions. So, I've got like depth charts here. I've got the little box question was when I was going to try to interview Amante Davis. Never happened, right? I usually keep a note card like this too when I'm interviewing in general. So I just have it there in case I want to read off the numbers. But your typical HP laptop, it's really nice. It's got pretty good amount of gigabytes, but I also have flash drives. Usually, what I do here, right? Yeah. So as you can see, these are all the flash drives so far from. I can hold it from this season, right? So what I'll do is probably here in the near future. I feel like once early signing day is done, what I'll do is I'll take all the highlights of like Steph's, Peyton's, Marlowe's, right? All the seniors and then all the people that have transferred out. What I do is create a folder and I'll put like 2023 senior / transfer highlights, throw them all in there. That way I still have them, but they're not on my computer because I don't need them. I do that every year. It's bittersweet because you're like, man, I usually do it after the position breakdowns. But like I said, I just don't feel like it would be adequate to do the position breakdowns given the fluctuations and all that stuff. So I probably have to skip that this year, and it's just unfortunate. I don't know a good way to do it per se, so that'll kind of be how it goes. I think what I might do though, I still might make like a shorter season recap. Just go. I didn't even go over the numbers. I need to do that. I'll go over the numbers. Kind of expand on what I said here in the opener. I didn't want to take too much of your time there because I'd be giving this. So yeah, I'll probably try to do that. Record that Saturday, probably. Yeah, Saturday after I get back from getting a haircut. Probably do that and then try to get that out Sunday night. It'll probably, because I do want something more than like what I didn't really kind of end it on. But yeah, no. So that's what I do with the flash drive. I also have a hard drive that it doesn't really work. So I use these flash drives. You can get them at anywhere really. I get them at Best Buy. They're like the 32 gigs. They come in packs of 3. That's kind of what I use. And then I do have one massive flash drive that I put like completed season stuff. So like all the one-on-ones from this year will go on that flash drive. All the season highlights will go on that flash drive, just so I have that. I have that too. Then I also have here, as I pretend to dust this off greatly, it's a little like adapter thing majig. Basically what it is, I can, it's like a USB port, so I can plug in more than like 2 things. So you hear I have my mic, webcam, the flash drive, and what is the 4th? Maybe my laptop. I don't remember offhand, really. I do have this wireless mouse, also greatly appreciated. Shout out to my aunts who gave this to me. But they run you like a low grade, runs you like 10, 12 bucks. This one, I think, runs you like 20, 30. It takes like one AAA battery. It's really nice. It really helps instead of using the laptop, scroll pad thing. Makes editing a whole lot easier, a whole lot faster. But that's the setup I'm working with here. Obviously, I have a desk. It's been my desk since like first grade. So, yeah, that's the setup. That's basically what I use in terms of like software and stuff. I use Adobe Audition for the audio. I use StreamYard for the video, and then I use Filmora X, which is like Windows version of iMovie for the editing process. So, um, yeah, I got a pretty good groove on it. It takes a minute sometimes when the season first starts, but like once I get the hang of it, and then I use OBS to record the highlights. So what I do is I record the full game, and then I'll just like pull the highlights. I'll chop up the highlights from that, and then put it in a video. That's what I use there. I think Adobe Audition cost me 10. No, more than 10. It's like 15, 20 a month, I think it is. I know there's like other free type audio stuff, like sites I can use. But I just have experience with it. It's what I learned at UCO, so it's just easier for me to do. I already have a save preset and everything. Um, Filmora, I think, well, I do that yearly now. I think it's like 100 something a year, which isn't bad in the grand scheme of things. Um, it's pretty cool. It's like a Zoom, but for like content creators. That's what I do when I like go live. Which I want to do that more this year. I for sure. In a minute here, when I talk about what's upcoming, that will be touched on. I can go live from there. It's really cool. And then for my RSS feed, which is how I get the stuff on Spotify. That I think is $10.99 a month, $10.99 a month, something to that effect. So I have two of those. I have one for a Cho Show, and then I have another one that I do want to touch on as well. So yeah, that also will be something too that I touch on here shortly. But that is this concludes the setup. So this is my setup. This is everything. I have the monitors, laptop, ring light, acoustic foam, mic, and whiteboard. Okay, howdy. So, actually, let me. I think this is a good time for the ring mic. And yes, that is a PS5 behind me, by the way. All right, there we go. Okay, so, on what you can expect upcoming. So, and yes, that is a map of the United States there. I use it. I'm a big NCAA 14 guy. You go back to that. Was it spring? No, the fall camp update with Payne Scott, Dane Armstead, right? They're both NCAA guys. We kind of talk about that. That's why that's there for recruiting purposes. But what you can expect upcoming soon, early signing day when that happens, I'll get on that immediately. So that'll be coming, and then I would like in January want to get back to the one-on-ones. I have a list. I got to check it, see who's gone and who's not on that list, and then start reaching out for that. I do want to live stream one of those. We talked about it last year, kind of. It didn't happen, so I do want to do those one-on-ones in a live stream because when we do the camp updates, they get pretty good traction on the live stream. So I do kind of want to expand that. And I think that's probably going to be the most upcoming will be one-on-ones and signing day, early signing day type thing, just because there are no breakdowns this year. And then obviously in the summertime, we'll have the Bronco Rewind again. I got a pretty good traction last year when we were kind of needing our football fix. I'll show all 5 wins in its entirety without the commercials. I'm surprised it didn't get copyrighted last year. I appreciate that. We're going to knock on wood that doesn't happen again this year. Greatly appreciated as well. I've gotten like a claim before for like where the background music, but they don't do anything to it. So, but yeah, that's kind of what you can expect upcoming. Well, as I wrap it up here, though, I do want to thank you all because we've grown actually surprisingly a decent amount on here, despite like not really having content as of late. So I greatly appreciate that. That's awesome. Like I know I posted the other day on Spotify that I think we grew at like 73%. So that's wow. I think we were heard in multiple countries again. Last year was 3, this year was only 2, but that's still cool that we're crossing like international waters here. So I greatly appreciate that. I know I think it was it Hunter and Hunters brought the most foot traffic, so shout out there to those who supported the Hunter Large episode. And then Jacob Delso's, I think, was the most listened to, so shout out there to those people too. But yeah, no, it definitely was another great year for that. So I greatly appreciate that. Again, it just shows that we're growing, and the fact that we're growing in kind of a lull time really speaks volumes. So I truly do appreciate that. Before I get out of here, though, excuse my hand. Before I get out of here, though, I mentioned I do have that second RSS feed. I've been saying I want to do something with it, which is why I haven't canceled that yet. Didn't even get to touch that this year. So 2024, I plan to. It will be non-UCO related, like the Cho Show is not going anywhere. So like that will be like, I don't know, if I want to talk about really anything, I feel like I kind of want to use that as like a, I don't know, like a different outlet, more creative type of, stuff. So like I've always toyed around with starting a gaming channel, right? Like I haven't done that yet. I kind of did it with this channel for a hot minute. Went back the other day and like saw that UCO Dynasty video I did. I was like, you know what? Kind of want to do it, but like the setup isn't really there for, and I kind of enjoy it as my leisure. So I don't know. Maybe I wait until the new game comes out and then we see something how we want to do that. But yeah. So like, if you see that, if you see like I make an announcement like, hey, I have another little podcast venture thing, that's probably what it is. Going to just be me, like, I don't know, other sports happenings, right? Like, I'm a Steelers fan, and, as you know, it's been a roller coaster of times. We had the highs of firing Matt Canada, getting the 400 yards, you're feeling good about yourself, and then, then you lose 2 games to the Cardinals and the Patriots, and TJ Watt has a concussion, and, it's tough in these streets, right? So, like, things like that, right? I'm a Nets fan. Spencer Dinwiddie is the GOAT, by the way, right? So like things like that, like my takes on like other like coaching hires, right? Like you follow me if you're a fan, you're a friend on Facebook, right? You see I post about that, right? So just things like that I can touch on. So like that will probably happen. I'm definitely gonna rename it from Smooth Sports. So we're gonna like direct that away. I gotta figure out if I can like rename it and all that stuff. But just know that that's coming through the pipeline in 2024. Like taking inspiration from my man James, might be like 10, 20-minute episodes, not your long Show type ones. But yeah, so like that's what you can expect upcoming. So again, I greatly appreciate it. All the support, all the conversations. Again, you can always reach out to me. The contact info is below their DMs on Twitter /X, Instagram, Facebook Messenger, email, like whatever it might be. Always enjoy talking to you all. Always enjoy listening to your feedback, your ideas and such. So, but no, I really do thank you all for the support this year. And it's been a weird year, right? I felt like I mentioned after in the Pitch State episode, right, I felt like maybe I was a tad bit too critical at times this year. So like I didn't know how that would come across. So I'm glad that it wasn't taken the wrong way. I saw like I have great respect for every player that suits up, all the coaches, right? So like it's never personal, but like I do have to cover it, right? Like as a reporter, it's what you have to do, cover the good, the bad, and the ugly. So but yeah, no, so that's all I had for you all. You're probably saying, man, this man has like 2 TVs. You can kind of see I have 3, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, we got the gaming setup there. You got the 360 there too, by the way. That's I'm about to fire up here in a minute. Fire up some NCAA 14 content. That will get fired up. But yeah, I have 3 TVs here, so we got the one on the wall that we watch the stuffed shows on, and then the one by the 360 is the one that's active. The other one is kind of a backup TV at this point in time. I have my GameCube hooked up to it if I don't feel like hooking it up to the mounted one, but yeah, that's what it is. So, about to fire up the old NCAA 14 here shortly. So, but again, I really appreciate all the support. Again, if you have any feedback, comments, concerns, whatever it is, contact information is below, and I should be back hopefully next week, next Sunday there with a brief season recap, kind of expanding on what I said in the opener, but in a little bit more detail. Go over the numbers. and kind of like go from there. So maybe 20, 30 minutes worth, but just something to kind of put a tie on the season. I feel like it's kind of incomplete at this point for me. But put a little bit of a tie on that, and then look forward to early signing day. So I hope you all, if I don't see you all, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year's. Hopefully it's a prosperous one. Again, I appreciate you all. So until next time, my name is Jonathan Goudeau, a.k.a. JG Smooth. Check out the new frames, by the way. We went blue, you can't tell, but they are blue frames, and I do kind of like it. But until that time, my name is Jonathan Goudeau, a.k.a. JG Smooth. I'll talk to you all later.